I remember when I graduated college in August 1993. One of the things that I had as my personal ambition was to be the best engineer that that I could be. I already had a job for me, and finished up at Texas Tech. And I remember I was on my way home, ready to start this new career in engineering. And I remember my best friend and I were saying, "Hey, we're going to make a lot of money and do a lot of different things." But it's interesting. I think the way I remember it, it was like the Lord has a sense of humor. Because I never, ever in my life thought about going into ministry, let alone specifically in terms of preaching. But I moved back home and went back to church, the church I grew up in at Beth Eden. And I guess it was just after a period of time, I found myself having this dream that really kind of perplexed me. And it was a dream that kind of started the same way and it ended the same way. And it was like, you know, I was walking down this highway and just like to my right or so, there was this building that looked like a church. And I remember going to the church or to this building, and I heard a lot of different things going on there. It sounded like they were having a wonderful worship service. And I walked in there, and the building was empty. But yet there was a lot of noise that was coming out of it. I thought, man, that's kind of strange. And when I got there, I realized that in fact they weren't having church. I mean, it was something that was kind of this spiritual heaviness or something, that was taking place. And all I remember is that it made me really afraid. And I was like, I got to get out of here. And I ran. And I remember jumping through the window when I hit the ground. And I ran back to the freeway where I first heard all the noise coming from this building that I thought was a church service. And as I was running down the freeway, I remember my heart just beating fast. I mean, these like real feelings. And a small still voice said, "Stop. Turn around. You know what you have to do." And it's funny because each time I had this dream, I would just stop, turn around, and when that happened, the dream would end. And that dream went on like that for months. I mean, literally months. And I don't think it was a week that I did not have that dream. It's probably happened even more frequently, a couple of times during the week. And then finally, I went to a mentor of mine as I was growing up at my home church at Beth Eden. And his name is Reverend Lonnie Carruthers. And I asked him about this dream. I said, this dream I keep having, never associating it with going into the ministry or preaching. And he told me, much like I guess it was with Samuel, he said, the next time you hear that voice, you answer, you listen to it. He says, it could very well be that the Lord is calling you into ministry. And I thought, man, that's kind of strange. However, I still continue to have that dream after I shared that with him. And finally, after having listened to what Reverend Carruthers said, because I came back to him and I said, I believe the Lord's calling me to ministry. He's calling me to preach. And when I did that, I went to my pastor, my senior pastor, Pastor Daines, and shared with him my call to preach and this dream, this vision I kept having. And when I finally opened up and realized that this is what the Lord was doing in my life, what He was calling me to. Granted, I'm an engineer, got a job. I'm thinking, okay, what is this? How is this all going to work together? When I finally opened up and gave that to the Lord, the dream stopped. And it was amazing. I think that happened around November. I started having the dream around September, and around about November or so, that's when I kind of shared with everybody, those two gentlemen who were two of the three main influences in my life growing up. And then I stopped having the dream. And then January 16th, I preached my first sermon. Kenny's Bones did.